you asking that about a demo? Are you asking
No,
about
the reason why I'm asking this question because I had this conversation yesterday and I was asked about being tough and being aggressive. Well, you got a guy. Is Donovan Mitchell tough or is he aggressive? Because I think that's the problem with the Cleveland Cavaliers right now. Even though I got them winning it, I think there's a toughness issue that they don't have.
I think you
Donovan Mitchell.
You can be both. Like, but just because you're one doesn't mean that you're the other. You know what I'm saying? Like,
are you saying aggression from Donovan Mitchell is the problem?
No, I think Donovan Mitchell is aggressive, but I also think he's tough too. But I'm trying to see where that resonates. Why isn't that resonating with the rest of the crew?
Because he's not a true number. No, because he's not a true number one. That's why.
No, that's not the Jordan. That's a whole. That has nothing to do with toughness. Like you got to start getting in a bag that has nothing to do with the conversation.
No, that's
zero.
The toughness.
He said he don't know what it is. That's what it is.
Yeah. But here's the thing, Jordan. Let's say he was a number one. Let's say Donovan Mitchell was. Let's say that you believe that Donovan Mitchell was as good as Chill believes he is, and let's say he actually was. Let's say we all thought Donovan Mitchell was a top 5 player. Just because Donovan Mitchell is tough doesn't mean he can't take his heart out of his chest and put it into everybody else's chest. He can't make Garland, Allen, and Mobley tough. Like you can't.
Number one would.
No, you can't, Jordan. No, you can't. I can't make everybody else tough around me. That's not the same thing. Him carrying can't make Evan Mobley tough or Jared Allen tough like that.
So he's not. So he's not. He's not a guy like. He's not a floor raiser then. Like
Jordan, I can't. If I hang out with a bunch of soft niggas, just because I'm hard, it's not all of a sudden go. It might make them feel hard.
Focus, Mars.
But it's not gonna make.
Just because I'm tough. Okay, just because he's tough, Mars. How about that word? You like that word, better, Mars?
No, chill. We gonna use the same words. Y'all grow up. If I hang out with a bunch of soft niggas and I'm tough, that don't mean that they gonna be tougher. Like they might feel tough, and Jordan, they might poke their chest out a little bit more. But when we go fight against the rival gang across the street, the minute one of them gets punched in the face, they all gonna get back to being soft.
Well, wait a minute though, Ron. That's not necessarily I mean, to your point, I mean, I stick my chest out a little bit more because I'm running with somebody that's tough, and they instill that in me because I've always felt like you either got that in you or you don't. So. If the tough guy that you're talking about, Ron, if he's telling me, yo, I'm gonna fight with you, just fight. If you get punched in the face, so what? Just keep fighting. I'm gonna fight with you. Okay, if I got you, that does give me more incentive to fight. Does that mean that I'm soft? No, I'm just not as tough as you are, and you bring that other stuff out of me.
Or chill,
until you get punched in the mouth.
Or hold on, Ron, because it could be this. If I'm the bad boy, I got these things on me. I know what to do with them. I just tell you shit, when we start fighting, real talk, just get you a few licks and I'm gonna end it. I got it. Don't worry about it. I'm big bro. Just fight out there. I got you. You niggas start fighting, and then when it's time shit get out of pocket, I knock niggas out. Demons just ain't like that. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. He just not that.
Well,
it's just like, keep hooping. I'm gonna take you home. It ain't that with him. He got his own agenda. Now, to his credit, he don't need nobody to help him get off. He gonna get down on whoever he want to get down on. That's just him. I just think they need somebody, a big bro, a big superstar, to come over there and say, "Hey, D. Mitch, you're a hell of a number 2. Probably gonna be the best number 2 in the NBA. But you need a big dog over there." That's all I'm saying. Like, to answer Chill's question, you trying to figure out what is that thing with Cleveland? It's that they just need a big dog.
I think that they have that because what I'm not doing is I'm not comparing Donovan Mitchell to Bryant, right? I'm not comparing him to him.
No, I don't think that's necessary.
No, I'm not comparing him to Bryant. But
can't compare him to Shea either.
What I'm saying is when I listen to Donovan Mitchell say that, tell Evan Mobley, yo, if you want the ball or if I'm not giving you the ball, you can get on me. Well, first of all, I shouldn't have to tell you that. That's number one.
Right. Mobley ain't getting on shit.
Yeah. I shouldn't have to tell you that, but that's fine because Evan Mobley's still a young player. So, okay, that's fine. But I think that there's different ways of bringing the dog out. When I watch Bryant and Gasol, when I'm watching Bryant mush Gasol, he's not mushing him like you suck, and he's mushing him to tell him you the baddest you know what out here. There's nobody better than you
out there though.
See, Chill, you said you're not going to compare D Mitch to Kobe, right? And of course we're not gonna do that.
No, I'm not.
But can we also not compare Evan Mobley to Pau Gasol?
Like, wait a minute. Okay,
he not Pau Gasol. Chill.
Okay. I'm not saying that he's Pau Gasol as a player. What I am saying is that he's one of the best. He's one of the better young players in the game. Pau Gasol was able to get Kobe Bryant. Let's see, that was in 2008. Okay, so he's in year 7. I mean, Evan Mobley, I think he's going into year 4 next season. So is it year 4, year 5? Okay, so with that being said, I mean, I think that there's different levels to bring that toughness out of a guy, to tell them that, yo, there's nobody out here that can with you. None of these dudes can see you. I'm going to get you the ball where you need the ball. I need you to do this, and I need you to be tough while you're doing it, and I'm going to ride with you. And when you have that vote of confidence, when you have that vote of confidence from somebody who is tough like that, I think that it resonates throughout the rest of the crew. I just don't see it enough from Donovan Mitchell right now.
Chill, it's also that, like, and I feel that way too. I'm big on that. I believe in heart. I believe in the will. I believe in all of that. I believe in all the intangibles. I believe in the basketball gods. I believe in everything hoop. I believe in it, right? But at some point, you just have to be good enough. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like it don't matter. It don't matter how tough I am. It doesn't matter how tough I think I am. It doesn't matter how tough I really am. It doesn't matter how aggressive I want to be. Chill. I can't get with Shaq. I can't get with Giannis. You know what I'm saying? Like you can be tough, Evan. You can toughen up, but
Kenyon was tough as nails. He couldn't get with Shaq.
Like, he's a superior basketball player, and it just doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes toughness ain't the answer. And maybe D Mitch don't got to bring no more toughness out of Evan. Maybe Evan need to stand on his nuts. You know maybe Evan need to ball out. Maybe Jared Allen and Evan Mobley need to get on some sand dunes. Maybe Evan Mobley and Jared Allen need to spend some boot camp, training camp type shit. I don't know, Chill, but it's not on D Mitch. Jordan, it ain't on D Mitch. D Mitch balling out. D Mitch doing his job. D Mitch is playing basketball. He is, but it ain't on D Mitch. D Mitch can't put these big niggas on his back. Like, come on, you got to come with me. They got to do their thing.
So since you can't put him on his back, that's what I'm saying about a number one.
That ain't his job.
Number one supposed to put guys on your back. Why can't he?
His job ain't to carry other all-stars. They need to play basketball. Donovan Mitchell was playing great basketball.
So Donovan Mitchell can't do what Jimmy Butler did with the Miami Heat.
Those are different circumstances. You can't, like, I hate when y'all do that. Y'all can't keep doing stuff like that. Like, that's different because first of all, Jordan, they're different teams, different roster construction, different coaches. They're playing against different teams, different roster construction, different coaches. Nothing is the same in a basketball game. This game,
I agree with you.
That game happened there. That ain't the same thing. And on top of that, Donovan Mitchell and Jimmy Butler.
I'm saying nowhere that Donovan Mitchell has went to where they elevated and rise and became that threat of a team. Like, we scared of the Cleveland Cavaliers or we scared of the Utah Jazz.
What's that got to do with Donovan Mitchell? Donovan Mitchell balled. He balled in the Pacers series though.
Yeah, you talking about he balled in the Pacers series. This is what I'm saying. Donovan Mitchell can ball all he wants. I'm not saying he's not balling. I agree with you that.
But they were hurt though. So if they were healthy and they win, would he have put the
dog in them?
Win.
I don't think they. But if what win? I don't. Really
I think they believe that though. Garland was hurt. Mobley was hurt. Mitchell had an injury.
I don't think they believe that either because they was trying to trade Darius Garland for Kevin Durant. So they don't believe that.
Don't believe which part?
They don't believe that they could have won with Darius Garland whether he was healthy or not. That's why they were trying to trade him.
Well, Darius Garland was really, really good. I think that
So why
he was all NBA level
player. Why
player.
were they trying to trade him?
Because Kevin Durant is better than Darius Garland.
Because Kevin Durant is better than Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell. That's why he's the missing piece to that. If
they wasn't trying to trade Donovan Mitchell for Kevin Durant.
No, yeah, because they feel like you can pair KD and D Mitch together, and KD's gonna be number one.
Yeah, that means Darius Garland needs to get better.
I agree.
Or you just have two small point guards. That's probably not going to work.
But you bringing somebody in that's better than Donovan Mitchell too.
But they're also changing up their lineup though. Like they just traded.
He's better than everybody.
They just traded for Lonzo. Like they know they need to have a defensive guard on the roster, and Garland nor Mitchell is one of those things. And Mitchell, to be fair, is about 6'2.5", maybe Chill's height, and Garland is your height, Jordan, and you what 6'1.5", 6'1"?
You lying like a motherfucker.
So no, he is. I'm saying I saw them. I saw them at the All-Star event. Garland is damn near my height. We're basically the same height. And I'm saying I'm looking at Mitchell. Mitchell's slightly taller.
You not the same height though. I'm taller than you.
I said damn near. So don't get lost on stuff, Jordan. What I'm saying is they're both very small. I think the bigger issue is them being able to defend at a high enough level with both of them on the floor through a playoff run to get to a finals. That's what I'm saying. I think that's a team construct. I think they could, but I also just probably. I mean, the Eastern Conference is what it is next year, so I generally don't know who's making it out. I honestly have no idea who's making it out.
But do you think? Okay, the real question for me is for all y'all: do y'all really think that Donovan Mitchell is a number one? I'm gonna start with Mars first. You think Donovan Mitchell is a number one that can take his team over the top? That type of number one. Do you believe him as a number one, Mars? Let's start with you first.
I think a lot of people can be a number one in the right situation, and he's probably one of them.
Okay. But do you think he's better as on a championship team? You think he'd be better as a number one or a number two? Because I think he can be a number one and win a regular season game, but in playoffs,
I'd rather not have him on my team. But
damn, I wouldn't say to have him on my team, but okay. Okay, I got Mars then.
Yes. Yeah.
What do you think, Swiper? You think Donovan Mitchell's a number one?
I think he can be. I think he's proven to be. I think
so. You don't think he is?
I don't blame the context of the Utah Jazz around him entirely. Like, given that they didn't have anybody but him and Rudy Gobert on the roster. Like, remember Mitchell averaged 36 in the series in 2020 when they lost. Like, they just weren't good enough. You know, I think they got beat
3-1 leads. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Now he obviously should have played better. I'm also saying, but I think like he also didn't have like a great roster around him. I just think it's situational. I think if you would have told me Tyrese Halliburton could have got the back-to-back Eastern Conference Finals.
But it's not just Tyrese Halliburton, though.
I agree. So I would think if Mitchell had a situation like that, I think there's a world for him to do so. We still haven't read Super Chats, by the way. We just blew by the first second of Super Chats.
You think Donovan Mitchell's number one?
Yes, I do. I think the Cavs are going to win the NBA championship this year. I do think that he's the number one championship team.
Okay. You think they're going to win an NBA championship?
I think they win the NBA championship this year.
Once again, Chill, I'm going to say it again because I said it last year, but I'm going to say it again. I wouldn't be surprised if they lost in the first round. I don't expect them to lose in the first round, but I wouldn't be surprised. If they lost, I wouldn't be like, what? Cleveland's out? I would be like, respect. Ron, do you think Donovan Mitchell's number one?
I don't think that yes, I do believe he's a number one. And how Mars said, I think there's a lot of number ones in the NBA, whether they're good number ones.
I'm talking about for winning a championship. I'm talking about for winning a championship.
For winning a championship?
Yeah.
Under the right circumstances, yeah. Like for instance, KD's on the Rockets right now. If you put Donovan Mitchell on the Rockets, I think like in place of Jalen Green last year. No, they wouldn't. Jordan, stop. If you replace him and Jalen Green, I'm not
legit contenders.
That's the point I'm making. If you put a dynamic defense behind him with some other good pieces, Donovan Mitchell, he gonna make something work. He gonna make something work.
I think Evan Mobley will be their best player next year. So if they do win a championship, I'll be saying Donovan
Mitchell won't be a number one then.
Yeah, that's what I'd be saying. Yeah.
So you think D Mitchell's number one? Your last one.
When you say number one, do you mean he's their best player or their first scoring option?
Lead their best player, leading them to a championship. That's pretty much why I'm asking this question. Because anybody, like I agree with you, anybody could be a number one in the right situation. But I'm saying with the ending result being leading to the finals or a championship, do you think Donovan Mitchell is that guy?
I think he can be with the proper roster construction. I think
this is the most talented team that he's been on since he's been in the NBA. This crew right here. He has not been on a crew that's better than this crew all the way around from a talent standpoint.
I think that Jazz team could beat this team though.
No. Mm-mm.
The 21 team
with Mike Conley and Royce O'Neal.
Joe Ingles in there.
Joe Ingles.
I don't see why you said no. So
I was over there too.
Confidently, yeah.
Rudy Gobert.
I was chopping too.
Who?
So we can expect.
Did you speak about his retirement?
No,
we haven't spoken.
He retired. He retired because he really hurt. I think that's what it is. I think he might end up coming back, but he's hurt.
Who did I miss?
Bojan retired.
Oh, Bojan. Okay.
But
I know that's
Mars. If he would have been healthy with the Knicks.
Oh man,
that would have been good. That would have been good.
He was the one who pushed you over the top, Ox. You were the one when he got on the Knicks. You was
when he went over there. That's when I took notice to the Knicks. When OG went over there, they became the favorites.
Hey, Ron, I'm gonna let you host the show, but later on I'm gonna ask questions.
Oh, you gonna let me?
Yeah,
you gonna finally let me host now? Oh, all right, cool.
But I got a question for Chill later about Jason Tatum because this shit is crazy as a motherfucker to me, boy.
Hey, but right quick, I do want to change my answer though, Jordan, because you asking about Donovan Mitchell and whether I think he could be a number one on a championship contender, and I gotta actually say no, because I don't ever see Donovan Mitchell getting a championship, and partly the reason why I don't see him getting a championship is because I don't see him being a number one. Now things can obviously change, and let's say, for instance, like he gets traded to LA. Okay, now you're the number two next to Luka. Okay, that changes, but in a scenario where he's the number one, I can't say
That's all I was asking, though. That's all I was asking. I think if he was number two, he'd be the best number two in the NBA.
None of these guys are that until they actually do it.
Who's the best number two?
Well, yeah, but chill. We can project
100%.
Like,
I mean, I did LeBron.
Hey, is Luka that? Time out, though. Chill. Is Luka that?
AD or Kyrie, whichever one you think.
Oh, okay.
Chill. Is Luka that?
Until he does it, no, he's not.
Do you believe he's that?
I think Luka can be. I think he can be a number one on the championship team. But until he does it,
he was in Europe.
Anthony Edwards.
Yes,
Is he that?
Until he does it, I think he can be. Yes, I do. I think Anthony Edwards can be.
You can see that though, right? Because they got to the finals, the conference finals. You can see that though, right?
Well, like, what is this conference finals thing about? Jordan, I don't know if you noticed, but the Oklahoma City Thunder last year, you know where they lost in?
The second rounds.
And what happened this season?
They
won in the finals.
Okay, so what's this conference finals shit about?
It means they went to the conference finals.
Yeah, they
which, by the way, that's where I had Cleveland. That's where I had Cleveland at this year. That's where I had.
Yeah, but they didn't get there.
No, they didn't.
What you mean? That's where you had them at this year?
I had Cleveland.
Oh, yeah. Never mind. I got them in the Celtics mixed up. My bad. Chill. I'm saying that to say though, I asked you those questions about Luka and Anthony Edwards.
Sure.
Next, I was speaking to the Celtics. I was gonna get to JT. If I would have asked you 3 years ago, do you think Jason Tatum could be the number one on a championship team?
You would have said yeah.
You would say yes. He hadn't done it yet, but you would say yes.
He hasn't done it yet. Jaylen Brown won Finals MVP.
And so did Andre Iguodala, and so did Cedric Maxwell.
Well,
so
but to the point,
okay, but Jaylen Brown won Eastern Conference Finals. No, wait.
Well, that award
Jaylen Brown won Eastern Conference Finals MVP and Finals MVP. No, but he won both of them in one run. So technically, by your definition, he'd be the number one on the team.
Unbelievable, man.
I mean, whatever.
Got it wrong,
but Teron's point, like all
maybe they didn't get it wrong. Maybe Jaylen Brown just deserved it. It doesn't mean he's better than Jason Tatum. But we don't need to say the award was wrong.
I think they got it wrong.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't think they got it wrong. I went back and watched it yesterday. I don't think they got it wrong, by the way. But I feel like what Ron's asking, like we just can name these guys, like we could just name these guys that we can see. Okay, given the right circumstances, you'd be number one. The right circumstance for Donovan Mitchell to me is a number two. That's all I'm saying. Like the right circumstances and the roster construction that y'all are preaching and yapping about is him as a number two, not a number one. And for the other guys, it's like the right circumstance for them is a number one. And that's all I'm saying about D Mitch.
And to be honest with you, I said the same thing about Kyle Lowry. You're not winning the NBA championship with Kyle Lowry as your lead guard until they did it. Until they actually did it. And he wasn't awful in the finals, but I think he was
the number one player though.
Yeah, but that wasn't the point. The point was you not winning with him as your starting lead guard. You telling me you ain't winning the NBA championship with Donovan Mitchell as your numero uno. And until they do it, that's not what
I think that's a little different. I think that's a little bit different though with Kyle Lowry and Donovan.
And I watched Kyle Lowry get to the East Finals. I watched Kyle Lowry in the playoffs. I watched the Toronto Raptors win 58, 59 games. And I'm like, you're not winning the NBA championship with that dude as your lead guard.
I don't know why, because Derek Fisher won a championship as a lead guard for the Lakers.
Those two guys aren't the same, though.
Yeah, Kyle Lowry is clearly better.
Point guard. That was his point. A worse starting point guard won, so why couldn't Kyle Lowry? That was
that's why I don't think it's the same.
Okay, a worse point guard won because he had Shaq. That's why.
Okay, so then if Kyle Lowry had Shaq, you could win a championship with him as your
could, but he didn't.
Yeah, he had Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, but you said I don't think you can. That was your statement. But if you just started Kyle Lowry on the 2017 Warriors, you could win a championship.
You win a championship.
They wanted what? I was looking at.
You ain't even got to do that, Mars. They wanted with Kawhi.
We're turning this into something completely different, and it blows my mind how this gets turned into that. So I looked at Kyle Lowry on the Toronto Raptors. I didn't look at Kyle Lowry in Cleveland with James. I didn't look at Kyle Lowry on the Golden State Warriors. I didn't look at Kyle Lowry in San Antonio with Kawhi Leonard. I looked at Kyle Lowry, who had been in Toronto for like 7 years at that point. and I didn't think he was going anywhere. And I'm thinking to myself, if this is your starting lead guard, you are not winning.
What's that got to do with Kyle though? If the team wasn't good enough.
No, hold on, Swiper, because Chill, you making my point. What the Raptors did was change their number one. Guess what they did? They changed their number one and got Kawhi.
Was he their number one, or was DeMar DeRozan their number one?
That's what he's saying. He swapped DeMar as that number one for Kawhi.
They moved DeMar and got Kawhi, and that's why they won a championship. It didn't really have nothing to do with Kyle Lowry. It wasn't like, oh, we got to
respect Kyle Lowry's contributions.
I'm not saying that, Morris. I know I'm a big Kyle Lowry fan, but I'm saying they got rid of DeMar and said we can win with Kawhi. That's what they did. There ain't too much about Kawhi Leonard. So the same thing for
Cleveland. In your estimation, if Cleveland they end up getting off Donovan Mitchell and they get Anthony Edwards, they can win.
No,
you think he's better than Donovan Mitchell?
I do think he's better than Donovan Mitchell, but I don't like that fit for Anthony Edwards over there.
Why not?
I genuinely don't think Cleveland's team. I don't think Cleveland's team was. I'm talking speaking of last year. I don't know what they're gonna put out this year. I don't think Cleveland's team was as good as everybody was trying to make it. Like when we went down the roster, who was gonna play in the playoffs, like it was a lot of holes. I was like, not gonna happen. But I just feel like if you add somebody else over there with Donovan Mitchell, I think they can win the championship. But
like who? Give us the guys who in Cleveland right now, if they play on that roster last year in the playoffs.
If you take Evan Mobley off the roster and you put Anthony Davis on that roster, do they win it?
Probably so.
At a healthy Evan Mobley, they got a chance.
Yeah, but you got an even crazier chance for Anthony Davis though. Anthony Davis is way better than Evan Mobley, by the way.
Anthony Davis is better than Evan Mobley. I agree.
Yeah, so they got a better chance. And Anthony Davis is better than Donovan Mitchell too, by the way. But
I agree.
I agree too. I agree with that too.
I just feel like Donovan Mitchell, if they snuck Kevin Durant over there, let's say hypothetically if Kevin Durant went over there and not the Rockets, Cleveland would probably be the favorites. Like
they would have Donovan Mitchell, Evan Mobley, and Kevin Durant. That'd be
Yeah, but they would be a favorite, though. That's what I'm saying.
This whole conversation started with the aspect of being tough. And I think that's the thing that Cleveland is missing, because I watch Donovan Mitchell as a playmaker. I watch his ability to get downhill and open up the floor for other guys. I watch his ability to score where he can take games over as a bucket getter. I watch him get downhill and beat up on big guys and get to the rim. He's really efficient at the long ball line. He wasn't that efficient this season, particularly at the long ball line, but he's got one of the best pull-up threes in the game. He can score with the best of them, and he will compete on the defensive
game. Game is his issue, though.
But he will compete on the defensive end. That's the thing that's the thing that I like about him. However, if I'm looking at the Eastern Conference, which is wide open, this is the most talented team that he's been on since he's been in the league. That includes when he first showed up in Utah. If this is the most talented team that he's been on, and these guys are improving, which you guys
not gonna beat the Hawks. They wouldn't beat the Hawks in the 7-game series.
Which Hawks? The current Hawks?
The one that's going to come in the next season.
With Porzingis in them?
Yeah, they're not beating them in the 7-game series.
That's a good team, Joe.
Damn right. Hey,
I do
it's probably because Trae Young is going to show you why he's
Dyson Daniels, Jalen Johnson, Nikhil, Kristoff, Zachary Ricochet in year 2.
And hold on. Trae Young.
I'm not sure the Hawks win, but I do like the Hawks.
He's obviously.
I think it's a 6-7 game dogfight. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, but I think the Hawks.
But then chill. If it's a dogfight with them, what are they going to do when they see one of them 3 demons out the west?
Okay, see that part I'm not trying to hear, because I watched the Boston Celtics in 2007, 2008, which is one of the best teams defensively in NBA history.
Go to 7
it was in a 7-game dogfight with the Atlanta Hawks in round 1.
Cleveland went.
That's because they couldn't win a game on the road. Shout out to Doc Rivers.
Okay, the point is that they couldn't win a game on the road. I'm not going to argue that point, Mars. But the point I am arguing is that they were in a dogfight with those guys. They were in a dogfight because there was mismatches. Kendrick Perkins was matched up on Josh Smith. Josh Smith dragged his ass, particularly in transition. He got him 22 feet away from the basket, and he's getting downhill on him, and he can't keep up with him. That's a huge problem for them. On top of that, Joe Johnson is doing everything that he can in isolation to get to the rim and exploit the mismatches that they had. That was a bad matchup for the Celtics. But they survived.
That was the start of Joe Johnson torching Paul Pierce?
I don't know about torching him, but I mean, Joe Johnson kind of introduced himself to what was going on in the NBA. The point that I'm making,
as a matter of fact, he should have been on that scoring list that we did the other day, the tier list. But
you the one who ain't put him on.
Hey, chill. Another question. Do you think Trae Young is better than? You think Donovan Mitchell is better than Trae Young?
Yes, I do.
Okay, I disagree with you, but I respect your opinion.
You think Trae Young is on the same page?
That's the most civil disagreement Jordan's ever had.
I disagree with you, but I respect your opinion.
It's the player choice way. Yeah, them boys gon' get it started. The player choice way. Yeah, the player choice way. Come and switch lanes into the player choice way.